Chris, I love you.
Welcome everybody to this week's or this next session's podcast. Looky who's back. Saulo.
Yeah, sorry guys.
How was the march?
How was the march? How was the Women's Day?
It was amazing. There was a lot of estrogen.
Just so you know, we're docking you a day's pay.
What? At least give me 4 hours.
Like,
I tried.
He's like, wait, you guys were getting paid?
Wait,
Keep that in.
Wait, what? We're getting paid?
I think we found our intro right there.
What? No, okay. Well, not like anybody really cares besides probably this room, but the reason why now I've missed 2 recordings is sometimes on Fridays, not just Fridays, but there's days where I end up doing PM shift works stuff, and I had to stay after.
The zookeeper forgets to open the gate.
It so sucks, dude. last week, it's like 8:30. No, it's about like 7:30, and I'm like, the plane's coming down at 8. I'm in SFO, San Francisco International Airport, and I'm like, it's coming down at 7:30. No, 8. I'll make it. I drop him off 8:30. Go back to the office 9 o'clock, 8:45. Go home, change, be here by 9:30. Flight delayed. Hour to an hour and a half. I'm like, fuck.
By the way, it's not like everybody knows what you do for a living,
right.
So you're kind of out of context.
No. Well, whatever.
It
doesn't matter.
Are you the
it doesn't matter what I do. The point is that I was in the San Francisco area at 9:30ish. 8 from 8 to 9:30 to about 9:30, and there was no way I was gonna make it back in time in the area to come to record, And by the time I got home, I think it was like 11:30 from work. I was just like, like I just felt disrespectful to even try to hit you guys up and be like, hey, you guys still recording? Like, what that's fucked up. So I was just like, well, it is what it is. I'll go in.
This is the worst call-in. The worst.
It's not a call-in.
Sick call-in.
It's not a call-in.
Work ever.
Listen, bottom line, I was getting paid. Okay, guys, that's it. I was making that paper. It is what it is. There's no excuse. I was working, unfortunately. But today, I made sure I had I had no control over my morning drive.
This motherfucker was the first one here.
I swear, dude.
Hey,
lost time.
Can I come over already?
Seriously,
I'm ready.
When I found out that I had a morning drive, it was at 9:15. I was like, I don't even care if this bitch is delayed 3 hours. But I'm still gonna be there on time. Like, I was gonna leave. I left at 2:30. Like, that was my time because I went in at 6 and I left at 2:30. I was just like, I'm gonna be there today. That's a given. I knew it. I was just like, there's no way I'm missing today's podcast. Like, it was just like, we're recording today. I'm there.
Nice. Well, glad that you're fucking here, dude.
Yeah, it sucks. Trust me.
Were you able to listen to the?
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, it was great. Having that female voice does make it. I don't know what it did, but I felt like it sounded like Ceci sounded good. Maybe it's just Ceci herself. I don't know, but I think that we should try to add in another person and possibly strongly being a female, because I felt like that having the change, I don't know, just having a female on, period.
Well,
it felt better.
We have Chris.
That's I was gonna say.
Well,
I thought I represented
Chris, do you feel
that
threatened right now?
demographic.
Do you feel threatened right now in your role in this podcast?
Okay. Let's put it in other terms. We should have
Please be a little bit more specific, Sal.
We should have a pretty girl recording.
Motherfuckers.
What I'm trying to get to here is sex appeal. This motherfucker doesn't bring shit of sex appeal. Like, what I'm saying is, it doesn't mean that person has to be here all the time, but it'll be good to have that person, that female voice a lot more. Because even Lisa, just having her on too was great. Cool. I mean,
I think just guests in general is kind of cool. Like,
but I think more the female, the female opinion
aspect
is good.
Of any subject.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because 4 guys, 5 guys, 6 guys, we all know what the hell we're, for the most part. But when you put in the female thought process. And I think it's good. I think
It changes
should.
that conversation.
Mhm.
Something that we wouldn't talk about before. We end up talking about.
Listen,
I like how we had Ceci, we still talked about farts.
well,
Guy stuff anyway.
yes, but the beautiful part about that was that at least you get the woman's perspective about it, right? I mean, because we know what men are going to think. For the most part, all guys know what the fuck we're thinking about.
Yeah.
But you put in the female in there, and it's like, oh, well, no, they. At least in Ceci's point of, and Ceci's thing is like, well, yeah, women think damn near the same way we do, I guess, right? But it's still good to put in.
Well, what I like is the fact that just because we had a female here, that we didn't change our way of talking to each other.
Well, no,
right?
that shouldn't change.
And
That-
exactly,
that's-
it shouldn't.
that
I was
change,
glad
no.
because when I was listening to it, like, wow, we
Mhm.
really did. Well, first of all, because we know Ceci, it wasn't like it's a
Right.
new girl that we just met and like, hey, you want to join?
That would be interesting too. Like,
Some
hey,
stranger.
so we just brought in this person. Off the
Yeah.
street.
I was at the bus stop.
She charges $50, so we got half an hour.
You
Let's go,
talk
guys.
to us. You talk to us now.
Hey, she says she
Wouldn't it
charges
be
by the
awesome
hour,
if
guys.
We find like a chick on a corner. Hey, we just want to interview you.
Yeah.
Like, we just know we want to know what got you to where you are.
She's
right
gonna
now.
be like, I've done this before. Yeah, let's go. It's gonna cost you $100 though. Cool.
This
let's
looks
go.
dangerous. Sure, let's go.
But no, honestly, I think I think it works, and we should really consider not convincing anybody, because if nobody wants to do it, then it
Dude,
is what it is.
I
But,
honestly, I'm
yeah.
down to have whoever
Anybody,
wants
yeah.
to come through. You know, if you're in
Yeah.
the San Jose area, you listen to us.
Well, but we've
Come
always
through.
made that clear. Where we
Have we?
any guest, yeah. But I think we should make it clear that female guest. I'm telling you, it works.
So what the fuck has been going on, dude? There's hella
got-
shit going on right now.
You guys
dude.
heard the news today? The big news
About what?
About
Oh, the
Mueller report got turned.
Mueller.
What concluded and was turned into the Justice Department.
So what happens there? Because I
The
don't know what's going on.
what?
The Robert Mueller report
the whole
Okay.
report that was
investigating
supposed to
Trump.
Okay, yeah.
investigate Trump and the whole Russia collusion thing.
Yeah,
in the
so-
election,
Right.
Right now, so it was turning to the Justice Department. The new AG, the new appointed AG, is something Burr. His last name is Burr, Burr. He's gonna review over the weekend, and whatever he decides that
Can be made public.
can be made public, then that
What?
goes to the Congress.
Wait. So really, they still have to decide what can be made public. If he's dirty, I think you should just throw it all out there. You're like, look how dirty this motherfucker really is.
No,
like,
and the thing is, the
pick and
White House still has the executive privilege to decide that everything.
Hey, but what
what?
do you think of his move coming out? I think earlier this week, and he's like, "Fucking bring it." He was like, "Let it be public, let it be public." And I was joking. around saying, Trump. Like,
I think I think that he's tired of being the president. It's a headache. And let me tell you, hold on.
Please kick me out of this motherfucker.
Straight out. At this point, I feel like he might be like, you know what?
Handcuff me.
Fuck
Throw away the
this,
key.
dude. This is aliens. We're talking about this is way
Dude, it's
too
funny you
much,
say that
dude.
because I was like, you know,
I'm
it'd be
done.
hilarious. If it's like just reminded me of some sort of comedy skit. It's like, what if in this report it comes out that Trump saved us from like an alien attack or like some world-ending thing? Like, yeah, bring it out. I don't give a fuck. Let
the world know I'm a hero, motherfucker.
Let's see how many people fucking
But
hate
no,
me after this motherfucker.
I think the pressure has finally got to him. Like the presidency pressure has got
He
to him.
gets off
So
on
we're-
this shit, dude.
But no, I'm
Nothing's
serious.
gonna happen to him.
He didn't
Trust
want
me.
No,
do it
I'm
in the
serious.
first
I
place,
think
right?
he wants to get impeached. I think at this point now he's finally
The
after-
motherfucker didn't want to be a president.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I-
The night that he won, you saw him and Melania. They
Listen,
looked like they lost
the
something.
reason
right? They
reason
won.
why he ran wasn't to win, was to get publicity, was to put his name out even more out there.
bro, to blow
and
up
then when he
his
won,
brand.
I guarantee he was just like, "Fuck,
Look, to
these
me,
motherfuckers believe the shit I said."
Yeah.
in all honesty,
I agree.
In all
Yeah.
honesty, when what was that guy that was just testified before Congress?
Michael Cohen.
His lawyer.
Michael Cohen.
Yeah.
Cohen, yeah.
Same fucking shit's gonna happen. Okay. Everybody's gonna get what they're gonna get from this Mueller report, and they're gonna go, oh, well, the government, half of the people are gonna go, oh, they're not gonna release everything. See how much the government does this and that, and the other half is gonna go, they didn't release it because there wasn't shit in there. blah blah blah.
Right.
It's
They'll
gonna go
find a
back
way to
the
justify it.
same-
They'll find a way to justify why.
Both sides will.
Yeah,
Both sides will.
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Well, no shit.
I think Trump is not gonna get impeached. He's gonna remain.
He's gonna finish out his
He's
term.
gonna finish
yeah,
out.
but
kid,
who's-
2019. Yeah,
Hold on though.
Yeah.
He's gonna finish out his term, but the reason why he's saying show it, because if they show it and he did some dirty shit, at least I would think that it would make it be like, yeah, I definitely won't win the next one because they'll see that I did dirty shit. And because dude, you really think he wants to deal with that?
Democrats are not helping their cause though, with all these fucking people thickening the whole candidate pool and stuff. You know, the more people join, the more likely it is he'll get reelected.
Do you think it'll be another conservative at 2020? Isn't it always 8-year cycles?
Well,
or
right
something
now,
like that?
there's only one Republican that has announced that he is gonna contest Trump, but that's one.
Nobody on the
Nobody's
conservative
gonna-
Republican side is
No.
going to put money on that.
No.
nobody's, yeah.
It's
You
not
know
worth
what
it.
everybody's biggest hope is right now? Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day is he's closer to announcing. He's closer to announcing. He's closer to announcing. And that guy Beto, what the fuck is?
Yeah, I know the guy from Texas. Well, he was a senator from Texas.
Yeah, he raised the most money
In one single day.
since he announced his
He beat
running.
Bernie Sanders by $200,000.
Wow.
Who is this guy?
But they already have some shit on him. He had like a DUI back in like
Ah,
'98.
so what
That's
though?
So what, dude?
I am agree with you guys. I know. Yeah.
Well,
you know.
Tell me how many white people right now don't have a DUI in the record.
You know. But you know.
Didn't President Bush sniff?
Dude,
snort
his
cocaine?
wife.
Like, I mean, what? A
I-
DUI is
I'm not saying,
nothing.
I am not saying that
You know what I'm saying?
I give a fuck.
Right.
I'm saying that the public opinion is like, in today's age of we're gonna find shit on you now, and even if it was fucking 30 years ago, it is what it is. I think it's pretty fucking funny, not to like kind of jump subjects though, on this whole Trump going fuck you. Fuck it, you're dead. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you.
Yeah.
When he was talking shit about John McCain, it's
Dude,
hilarious
that's
to
what-
watch that shit on the news. It's literally like a fucking episode of South Park. They're like, who would have thought that the president would be in a one-sided
That's
fight
why,
against
dude.
the dead?
I'm telling you.
Dude,
and
so,
dude, not only that, the Kellyanne Conway's fucking husband.
Yeah.
She works for. She's like the only one that survived his fucking, his presidency in
There's
his
only
cabinet.
about a handful of people who are still there from the beginning.
And she's
Yeah.
one of them, and she's going after her husband, like fuck that guy too.
He shows up. He basically said, "Your husband's a loser."
yeah, fuck him. Even though you're
Wow.
my biggest supporter, fuck him, fuck John McCain, fuck all these people, fuck everybody at this
Dude,
point.
so like 2 weeks ago, I saw a video. Somebody said like the biggest controversy that happened during the Obama era was one time that he did a sort of like a press conference and he was wearing a tan suit.
yeah.
And everybody was going crazy, and that's disrespectful to the presidency. That's the worst thing that could have happened.
Yeah.
Compare
So
that
they
to
inherit.
what
What
this
we've
guy
seen.
every single day.
Like I said, Trump is done. The pressure of being the United States of America president is got to him. So I think at this point he just doesn't care. If it sounds crazy, yes,
It's a big distraction. Anything that he
because
does is a
I
distraction.
I can't handle this shit no more. Dude, let's be realistic. Whether you know or you don't know, or how much you may think or you may not know of the being the president, it's common knowledge that it's a big job. It's a lot of pressure.
That's
right?
what
We've
everybody
seen
that
it,
comes out with, like,
right. We all, I think,
white hair.
but we all, I think we all know, right? Like, I mean, it's I think it's common knowledge now, right? That it's like, it's a pretty tough job. I don't think, and because going back to what we said, Lalo, he wasn't trying to win. He just ran to put his name further out in the
Yeah.
mouth of people, but not actually thinking
all,
he would win.
It's all
So
ego.
right.
Yeah.
But so now it's like I think now it got real, a lot more real than it was at the beginning. And so he's just like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna do and say crazy shit, and hopefully, God, I hope they get me out of this shit, because there's no other explanation, dude. Let's be realistic. From a man that has no politic experience, and then get thrown into it, and then being able to handle that
Being
pressure.
the most abrasive.
Exactly.
president.
And you got to be able to handle that pressure. That's way too much for that man.
So I think that
That's way too much. So he's just like, you know what? Yeah, tell him I'm fucking fuck this
You know,
motherfucker.
all this stuff that Saulo's saying, it actually with what I just said, a whole like, oh fuck this guy, fuck that. Even if
Yeah,
you're a supporter,
yeah.
your husband's not, fuck you
Yeah,
too, you know.
because
like,
he's done. He's done.
What I think that after he's done with these 2 years, because even if he tries to run for re-election, I don't think he's gonna win. His name is done because there's so much investigation going on left and right, and they're finding
doesn't
dirt.
matter to his supporters. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter to
I'm
conservatives.
not talking about.
They love how abrasive. They
I'm
love
not talking about
this.
his like as a politician. I'm talking as a business person. He is done.
Yeah.
They're digging out so much dirt.
But
out
he
of
was
him.
never a politician, so what does it matter?
Him as a businessman. He's done. At least in the U.S., no one is ever going to trust him.
I don't think he's done as a
Around the
businessman,
world, his brand might still have a meaning, but here in the U.S.,
You know what
no
my
one
thing
is
is?
going to want to do business.
You know what
with
my
him
thing is?
anymore.
I think that whole thing with Russia, if that went down, I believe that he did it so that knowing that if he ever got impeached or once he was done, he's gonna do business with that fool.
Russia.
Well,
Yeah.
you always have to have a plan B.
And
when you're
so
a business
so
person.
if that means, hey, somehow get involved with this so that I can be the president, put my name out there bigger, so that when I'm done and we finally go into business, my name, your name carries more weight, and we could do more business. Why not?
It's
Let's do
kind of like the guy from the
It's a business venture.
Fire Festival,
you watch it?
the Billy
Is that great or what?
McFarlane. Dude, he was in deep shit. You know what he did? He had to dig somewhere else to basically keep himself alive.
Yeah, the con must
And that's
continue.
that's what Trump is. He's
Yeah.
getting caught up right now. He needed to have a plan B, which was Russia.
Which yeah, absolutely.
And talking about the fire festival, there's something I wanted to talk about. I saw that one, and then I saw another documentary about this chick here in the Bay Area.
I know which
the
one
white
you're
girl.
talking about. One Blood.
Yeah, that
What did she
dude.
I started watching that shit.
It got me frustrated because you got these people who are fucking schemers, and this is back when we talk about being a good salesman.
This is right in your wheelhouse, Chris. It's like in the medical field.
It gets me really depressed because you got people like I'm putting myself out there because I'm here trying to put my name out there, start something, and nobody's fucking paying attention. You know, like I started a couple of GoFundMe or those online campaigns, and I think the most I've been able to raise like $20-$30, and then because you don't reach your goal, the money goes back to the people, and you got these people who are in so much debt, and like the guy goes to New York, comes back with like $3 million, and how in the fuck do you do that? How not?
It's exactly what I told you last time. It's the salesman pitch. It's a talent. It really is a talent, especially when you're that level that you could raise that much money. I kind of touched on that documentary that you're talking about. You were probably explaining it better than I can and stuff, but this lady pretty much promised like to cure cancer, right? Like
No, so right now, if you're gonna want to get blood tested, you have to go to the lab, and they have to pull out a good amount of blood.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you have to get-
You're right. Yeah.
So you know they have to hook you up, and you know this, Chris. They have to draw a lot of amount of blood to get tested for anything that could be in the blood, right? This lady promised.
It's not a lot, dude. I mean,
Hold on.
Listen to what this lady was
So
promising.
she
Okay,
promised that with a single drop of blood into this machine that supposedly she herself created, that you could be tested for anything, right? You could go to a simple Walgreens, put your finger in a machine, or something. I think she showed like a little. She called it nano something, like a little nano strip that enough for one drop of blood, and you could be tested for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a farce.
Sure.
Is this the chick that dressed like Steve Jobs or
Yes,
something?
she was
kinda
obsessed with
took the
Steve
persona.
Jobs. Apparently, she was also making her voice deeper than it actually was.
That part was kind of like
What the hell?
The first thing we saw, because as soon as she started talking about that's her voice. Holy shit, dude!
I thought it was like a man dressed as a woman because there was a very deep voice.
It's
and it
a
was
very
weird.
deep voice, and then we started like because all the we're kind of hanging out and we were watching it in the background and stuff. But she always had like turtlenecks on. You're like, what the fuck?
She was
She was
actually
just trying to look like Steve Jobs.
Yeah, but we're like
feel like Silicon Valley look.
Yeah.
And there was another thing of like she wouldn't like. There were times where she wouldn't blink. Like,
Oh, she'll
you're
be
just like,
talking.
dude.
Oh, she'll be talking to you. She wouldn't move her head. She would just move her eyes, and it just made her look like creepy.
Yeah,
She's
she looked
an android.
Like you could literally like
So she's an android.
yeah, like
Almost,
it reminded me
I
like
love
a
it.
Men in Black. You know when
Like a
alien takes over your
alien.
body and it's just kind of like, all stiff and
She was like
fuck?
the first female to break the billionaire
So
top
yeah.
numbers or something.
And apparently
like
this was all going on around like 2013. And I was like, man, that's around the time I was graduating from San Luis State. Because when I saw these documentaries, like, wait, I never heard of this bitch.
that. Yeah.
Like, because she was like the first like multimillionaire CEO of the Silicon Valley.
It all happened here too.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
There's a lot of shit happening here, dude. I mean,
A
lot.
She's
And she did not go to prison, by the way.
She didn't go to
She
prison?
did not go to prison.
Fucking
Billy
rich people.
McFarland, he did go to prison for 6 years. Like I think he got sentenced in October of last year. So it was recently. He did get convicted.
Ugh.
But it goes.
But dude, like big profile names gave her money. I think I could be mistaken on this number, but it's something like Warren Buffett gave her like $125 million or some shit like that.
And she was
I
lying.
mean, she promised something
For her research?
for her
Project.
because she's the one that
product.
created this
Right,
machine.
for her research project, whatever
Yeah.
it may be.
And she
Man,
was
that's a lot of
a
money.
Stanford dropout.
Oh.
Because they in the documentary it talks about when she went to school, and one of the things that she realized that all these people who became like fucking stinking rich were dropouts. Mark Zuckerberg dropout, Steve Jobs dropout, and they named several people who are fucking stinking rich right now. They were all college dropouts. So she sort of like purposely followed that route. She went to Stanford.
She found a formula.
She was a salesman.
Yeah.
was
She
a
literally
salesman.
found a formula, and she was like, "What does everybody care about? Like health, obviously." And it's like, what else does everybody care about? Making something easy. She found a formula, and then she started mimicking successful people, and that formula paid off, dude.
She was forcing everything to fall into that formula. But I mean, like Mark Zuckerberg and all these people, they got lucky. Don't get me wrong, they got lucky. But she tried to force that same route,
Huh.
and they just completely backfire.
Dude, Chris, you need to watch that shit.
Because you're in that medical field.
You're in the medical field. You would.
Yeah.
I think you would.
Is that on Netflix?
It's on HBO. I think.
Well, me and Joanna watched it on, I think it was either Amazon Prime or Hulu. It was not on Netflix. It got me frustrated because I'm trying to like start something and nothing. And these people, I don't know.
You're right. There are people that are successful, and exactly what you just said a few moments ago and stuff, that they do get lucky. There is talent. There is hard work. But when you get to this level of like some of these highly successful people, it's just like in bands. It's like there are fucking bands out there that are amazing that no one's ever heard of. But this band that may not have as much talent had got lucky. I just so happened my tape fell into the right hands, or my music fell into the right hands, and it has. I always say it's like the stars have to align.
My mouth fell into a right dick.
But yeah, I always thought that too. I've always I knew that there are some bands out there that just, I'd always call it like the stars aligned for you to be unsuccessful like you are, especially because Chris and I we used to play in metal, and it's like there's not much money in there, but there are a few bands that make a great living from there. But for the majority, not many do. But those bands that did get lucky, they found an in, they had the talent, they did the hard work, but they also got really lucky somehow, some way. They found this just fucking little tiny sliver of luck that got him in the door, or got him to the popularity they were, or they got to. But yeah, you're part of it is that.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
this chick from that documentary, and they mention it in the beginning. She's like the granddaughter of somebody that was wealthy, like early in the 1900s. So that was the connection of how I'm guessing they gave her help, because like, oh, you're related to this person that was somebody important, like like early in the 1900s, because they mentioned that she's the granddaughter of such and such and such. And that was what probably ended up helping her, get the boost, some credibility to whatever she wanted to do. Also, the other thing, the whole scandal of those celebrities that are paying hella money to put their kids into school. So it all happened last week, and it just got me really frustrated. Like, you got fucking celebrities and multimillionaire people who are putting the kids to school that don't deserve it, and their kids are somebody right now, but it's because their parents pretty much pay for them to get where they're at.
Wait, I don't understand. Celebrities are paying for other people.
you haven't heard that
You haven't
story?
heard of that?
I don't know anything about what's
That
going on in
blew
the
up
world. So
like
this
last
is all
week.
this is all new news to me. So this
So there's
is
this
good to,
big
like,
old
hear what's
scandal
going on.
happening right now that they caught. Do you watch Did you ever watch Full House? I know you watched Full House.
I watched
right?
Full House.
One the aunt,
The
Aunt
Aunt
Lori.
Becky.
Oh, Aunt Becky.
The one
Don't
that was
remember.
married. The one that was married to John Stamos' character, Lori Loughlin. is
Can't
her
even
name.
picture.
Anyway, blonde white lady.
She paid for both her daughters to get into USC, and she paid like $500,000. And it's funny because I'm just explaining the story to you and stuff. They got caught and like they went through this guy who was getting their kids into these like prestigious colleges, and they would pay him, and he would not only was he getting him in, he was like faking test scores and
Photoshopping
What the
he was
pictures.
photoshopping pictures. He was giving them like he was bringing him in through like an athletic program, even though they've never played a sport in their
Most
life.
of them didn't even play the sport that they were claiming they did.
Yeah. So
Just
now
made
it's
up
like a
some bullshit
big old
thing.
scandal, dude. It's like, so like I mean, it's not big a secret. Hey, dude, if you're a fucking rich celebrity, obviously you're gonna get your kids into universities and stuff like that because you have money. You know, you're gonna donate a little bit. Hey,
You
get my
donate
kid
money
in.
for a new building.
But this took it to an extra step to the point where he was falsifying documents, and he gave himself up. And the reason this whole thing, I heard, I don't know if this is
you
accurate
know
or not.
the name of the actual investigation?
What?
It was called Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues.
That was
Yeah.
how it was called.
But you know, this whole thing came to light because it was like something out of the movie Casino. Remember when they finally fucking busted the casino down? They're like, they were investigating some sort of murder or God knows what or God knows, you know, like
They all brand
it was,
related.
they were investigating something totally different, and then this just came to light and it just blew the fuck up. And not only did they, I mean, you know, you usually try to get a couple people and be like, hey, I know you're involved with this scandal. I know you're involved. If you cooperate with us, we'll give you leniency or whatever. But the guy that was like the mastermind pretty
Right.
much flipped. The guy that you try to get to, you know, like we'll give you time. You know, we won't do prison time if you give him up and stuff. You know, the steps that you get to that guy, the guy that was behind it is the one that gave them all up. So now they're all fucked. I mean, fuck, dude. Like,
The two top celebrities, that one from the Full House, and the other one, I think she was on
she's from
HBO.
the Housewives, Real
Yeah.
Housewives.
Oh yeah, there you go. She was on one of the actresses.
Desperate Housewives.
Desperate
She's one of
Housewives.
the, I've never watched the show, but she's one of the.
And the funny thing about the actress that was in Full House, her daughter is a influencer,
Uh-huh.
and she straight up posted a video. And this is like a while ago, not like right after this, a while ago, but they put it back. She's doing an online thing, and she's basically saying, you know what, I don't even care about school, blah blah blah.
Yeah, that was bad timing.
So that daughter was not helping her mom in any way.
Yeah, she had posted a video right before the scandal came out, and she was like, yeah, this is my dorm. I just came to party. I really don't give a crap about school and this and that and all this shit, right? So then when all this shit happened, that did not help. That did not help. But in that case, it's like, why not just... if you have all that money, why even bother sending her to fucking school?
Why even waste the money?
I mean, you've already raised her to not give a fuck. Obviously, you didn't raise her to fucking value or earn anything.
Because as a parent, I think you always have that.
You want to
Yeah,
be
but you already
hope.
obviously spoiled them enough.
Right,
so they
right,
don't give
but
a
I
fuck
think
about
already-
anything.
It doesn't help to be a rich person. You need to show off your kids.
Yeah, but even as a rich person, if you're a parent, I think you still have the illusion that your child will still
Turn it around at some point.
exactly do something with their life, even though they know they're spoiled, they know they got whatever they want, but I mean, I can't speak for every parent. I'm not even a parent. I'm an uncle. But even as an uncle, I want the best for my nieces and nephews, my children. So I think as a parent, no matter how much money you may ever have, instinctively you want the best for your kids and hope that your spoiled ass children who have everything, you want them to get educated and do something with their life. I mean, that's just.
Well, yeah,
you know.
I mean, ultimately, that's what you want for your kids. I think everybody that's in the right mind would like to have that for their kids. But bringing it back to the reason why I brought this up from the beginning, it frustrates me because, when I went to school, it wasn't until I was done with school at San Jose State that I had to learn it the hard way. Life taught me it's not what you know, but who you know.
Yeah.
And even now that I'm 36, I'm still have an internal conflict with that shit because my parents, at least when I was growing up, my parents taught me, you just work hard at what you're doing, keep getting better at what you're doing, and your work will speak for itself. And when I was at San Jose State, there's a reason why. Besides that, I had to actually go to work to pay for my education. I didn't have a lot of time to deal with after school activities, go mingle with other students in the animation program. I had to go home, do work because tomorrow I got to go to work and whatnot. I don't have time or the freedom to spend time in campus. And it frustrated me because I was working hard and nobody, at least my professors, were not paying attention to me. They just look at my stuff, give me a grade. But I used to see students that were following the advisors everywhere. They were just fucking little groupies, and I used to see their work, and it wasn't that great. I mean, okay, cool, but they were not being creative. They were just following directions, and those people are now either in such and such studio and such studio, and I used to think back and dude, those people were not really that talented.
It's
they
just that
followed
they-
the advices and professors everywhere they went. And it frustrates me that you got these people who are not really like the daughter of the actress that is I don't even care about school, but she's in an Ivy League school.
Yeah.
And it frustrates me
Free
because you got
ride.
people who are really putting the work, they're breaking their backs, they're not wasting their time, chilling and having, parties and that. They're actually dedicated in their work.
Yeah.
And like me, look at me.
Yeah.
Took me 10 years to graduate. I've been out of school since 2012. And other than you guys, most people don't even know that I know how to draw.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but it also networking takes into a lot. Chris, you and I, we can kind of test to this. When we were in a band, we were assholes and we didn't network the right way. You know what I mean? We did see
I don't
bands.
listen. I don't know if assholes is the correct word. I think it's
Probably assholes.
No, because and you guys know that I know because not obviously not being part of the band, but seeing it from the outside in, being one of the persons that was always or try to be there, always there for you guys. I try to go to practices, and I try to go to most of your shows.
Yeah.
It wasn't that you guys were assholes. It was that you guys were lazy. Let's be realistic. It wasn't
in the networking thing.
Right, no, and lazy in the networking side.
Yeah.
Not lazy in music wise, because you guys were talented. And you guys know I've always said this.
Yeah.
Stillborn Portrait, it could have gone far. Maybe, and let's say that name would have changed. Just the fact that you guys, Juan, Chris, Mike, even Peter,
But
if he would have stuck around.
this is what I was getting at, because
I think you guys just were lazy.
no, because
It wasn't you guys were
a
assholes.
big part of this is we all worked too and stuff, right? And a lot of the times after shows and stuff, we'd have a great show, and it's just kind of like what you're saying, Lalo. It wasn't so much the work, because the work we were putting in and stuff, we were making good music and we were having good shows, but in our particular case, people would go out afterwards and really party it up. And I knew that I had to be at work at 5 a.m. the next day.
But that doesn't make you an asshole. That makes you responsible.
Obviously. Yeah, but I'm saying part of that is the unspoken rule of part of networking is you're in that particular field.
You need
It's
it. So you're
you
saying
need to
that
befriend,
you should have gone out and partied out. with
networked
people.
more, because you meet people, you meet other people, you're more likable, and in essence, those students that you were just talking about,
Right.
they just made themselves likable to somebody.
Yeah.
And that's what networking is. Make yourself likable,
Yeah.
and you're gonna fall into an opportunity through someone. I know this guy is a cool guy,
Right.
and this guy kicked in me, and this
Yeah,
guy did this
yeah,
and that.
yeah.
But because us in the band, when me and Chris were in the band, we're like, we had grinding schedules of you know work, especially the next day.
And honestly, most
Chris was going to school,
Yeah.
and all this shit.
Yeah.
You know, like
and honestly,
we were like, we got to get the fuck up.
yeah,
and
most
go to
of your
work.
shows were that was like, we're coming in. We'll be in early, or maybe not early, but we'll be in, you know, relatively early. Hear the bands that are coming up before you
And we
guys,
would-
and then do your set. And literally, sometimes I remember
literally.
because I would roll with Juan a lot, or with you, Chris, and it was like, as soon as you guys were done, I gotta work tomorrow, so we gotta go.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think that was you guys being assholes. It was just you.
No, but I'm saying
not
it
being
looks.
able
You look
to-
like a dick
Sure,
in
sure,
the public eye and stuff.
In other eyes,
these are
yeah.
the people. If you're trying to be something public, that matters because people see that as that guy's an asshole. Won't have a beer with me, you know. You know this and that, and that's where we fucked up. Honestly, I knew that and stuff like. Cause then we would see fucking bands that weren't as good.
Horrible.
They weren't as good, but they had a lot of fucking people there cause you know what? After they'd hang out till like fucking the next day, just partying and drinking and stuff.
And I'm pretty sure that there were some students, or maybe even some of my professors that used to say, like, you know, maybe I was an asshole or quote unquote antisocial because there were events. Hey, you know, tomorrow Friday we're gonna get together. We're gonna look at our animations and we're gonna critique each other. And I never showed up. Why? Because Friday morning I had to go to work.
Well, isn't the point of making art to make the art and not the business end of it, kind of thing?
Unfortunately, you have to.
Yeah, but if you're trying to make, and I totally get what you're saying, Chris, and if it were that, there'd be, I mean, come on, we saw bands that were like fucking incredible.
Yeah.
That maybe didn't have the following and stuff, but it's like they were better artists than the fucking asshole that was up there, you know. But it all takes into that formula of
Unfortunately,
success.
that's something that a lot of art studios or art schools should have at least a class, a semester that everybody has to take some sort of like business part of it, because there's a lot of artists that we don't have that mentality of business, right? We see art as art, what art means, but if you want to be successful at it, you have to have a business mentality. Unfortunately, I mean, I've done a lot of stuff for people for free that other people have told me, like, dude, you should have charged them. And you're like, I'm just doing it because I enjoy doing something. I want to keep producing art. But like, boy, you have to make money. Like, I know, like, even now, if you tell me, Lalo, I wanna charge you, I wanna pay you for a painting or for a drawing or whatever. How much will you charge me? I'll be like, I can't put a price on my stuff because it's something I like doing. The moment you asking me to do something I don't like doing, I can easily put a price. Because how much am I willing to do this for you that it's not my hobby? I know how to do it, but I don't like.
See, that's where.
But the moment it's something I enjoy doing, which is art, animation, and drawing, I can't put a price on it.
In that aspect, you're being too nice, though, because at the end of the day, that's the
tells
business
me.
side.
Yeah.
That a lot of people that want to be artists and want to be successful and stuff, they have a side to them that's like, yeah, you know what, I do like doing this, but I do want to make money too. You know what I mean? And that's part of it too. You need to not be so nice and be like, dude, this is it. And what's the worst thing to have? They say no.
Listen, as the greatest words that were ever told to me in Las Vegas by a stripper, nothing is for free, baby. Quote that shit.
Well, not just that. Didn't the Joker say?
No, hold on. Hey, listen. Nothing is free in this world. And you know what? I might have been drunk. Hell, I was drunk. What that bitch told me that. But that was the most educated thing I've ever heard in my life. That bitch said...
Drop some knowledge.
She said, baby, nothing is free in this world. I said, good God.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Hey, but you know
And I ain't gonna lie. I got down on one knees and I told her to marry me because that's the most amazing thing I've ever heard.
And she told me, I will charge you for that.
Straight out. Oh yeah.
The one free lesson.
So don't ever, ever
you
feel
know what? You know, if you, I get it. You get frustrated because you've been doing this for a while and stuff, you know. But there's been a lot of success stories that I've heard. And, you know, they do these interviews and how do you get so successful and this and that. And there's many times where people are like, dude, people told me that it wasn't going to happen. I was this close to quitting and all this shit. And then They just kept grinding, dude. And then
But-
eventually an opportunity might come up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I think overall, it's not just grinding. Obviously, is a big one, but another one is you gotta when it and I've always said this, when it comes down to business, personal life and being who you are in a personal situation goes out the window. You have to turn into the businessman. When you're talking about money and you're talking about business, you have
all
to
that
be
shit out of it.
you have to be ruthless, bro.
No,
That's the only reason why these multi-millionaire people are the way they are, and that's why they are in the position that they are, because they're ruthless.
They have to be.
Yeah.
No,
They know. Hold on.
They've
they
all
know,
stepped on somebody.
Yeah,
at some
they
point.
know how to separate
Sure.
business and personal life. Those are the people that know. Listen, Chris, you're my brother, but when it comes down to business, I can't do business with you. I have to let you go. I have to cut you. You can't be part of this business. You have to know when it's time to be a personal, like a buddy and a friend, and you gotta know when to be the businessman. And when you talk about business, it's ruthless. It's cutthroat.
But I
It's
wanna-
there
but
is
also,
no-
hey,
I
why
want to
does
hope
it-
for a
it-
better
it-
world than that, though. That's
Well,
the thing
but-
is, like, I know that's the capitalistic, like,
Sure,
the
but Chris,
model
you
that
got,
makes America what
but Chris,
it is.
you know, Chris, when it comes down to it, we were just talking about the band, right, and
Yeah.
making it and stuff like that. You think that most of those bands who have made it have not been ruthless and cutthroat at some point? Most of those
Maybe.
bands, I bet you, have stepped on and cut off a lot of the other bands that
Sure.
they came up with to get to where they're at, because you have to be that way.
Unfortunately,
I understand
it's
that's
the
the way
sad
the world
reality.
It's the sad reality of the world, and I understand that that's a thing, but I want to hope for a
Listen,
future where,
that's why. No, but
as a
hear me.
content creator, so speaking to,
Right.
what you may or may not be going through, but I appreciate that you're a content creator. I'm speaking to Lalo. I appreciate anybody making content. We're making content now. But the idea that create to create for me means more than the business end. I get business end is always a thing because the way the world is, you have to survive. So maybe a weird transition
but-
to the next thing I
Yeah.
want to say is, but initially to create for the sake of creation for me is huge because that's art. And the more art there is to express the reality.
Lalo wants this to be his 24/7 hour
Absolutely.
gig. And like
See,
there are some times
hold on.
hold on. There are some things back to what you're saying, Lalo, when you're like you won't charge somebody and stuff. But you know what? There are other things that can be valuable if you go, hey, you know what? I'll do this for you. But if it's public, I want credit. I want fucking you to put my name out there. I want you to promote my brand, my studio. If people ask you, if you have a Facebook page, you're going to put this out. It was made by me. I want
yeah,
credit. I
always
want you to
get
share.
credit for the content you
Yeah.
create.
Because some of that might be more valuable, you know
Listen,
what I mean? More
but
than I gave this fool $100 for this and he made it for me. It's like no, probably more valuable is
it's
getting
as
my
simple as
fucking
this.
name out.
It's as simple as this. A while back, when you had your little bit of an incident, remember, and I told you, "Hey, I'm coming by. I want to buy." You were going through some shit,
Yeah.
right, Lalo? And I'm talking to Lalo, and I said, I was on my way to go to your house because you were going through something. I said, "Well, I want to talk," but at the same time, I said, "I'm gonna buy a full set of your Lalo's World comics that you had made, right?" And when I got to his house, I told him how much, and he said, if I'm not mistaken, and because we're brothers, he tried to he didn't want to give me a price. He was trying to be very generous and trying to, because we're so close, he was just like, "Nah, give me whatever you want." I said, no, this is business. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm not asking for a discount. I'm not asking for you to not charge me what you feel you're worth or what you feel your comic is worth. Like, I need you to tell me exactly what it is. How much you usually charge a random ass person that you may sell this to, because business is business and personal is personal. And I remember I don't recall how much you charged me for it, but I think I even gave you more than what you than what you told
you know
me.
what, just 20 for
Yeah,
for all of them, and yet you put in, you threw a couple more dollars
Yeah,
after that,
and I told him, I said, "Lalo, you gotta realize that when you're, at least in his sense, he's trying to make this a career in a sense.
Yeah.
You can't do that, because perfect example. Nickelodeon calls this motherfucker and says, "I want Lalo's world." Are you gonna be generous and be like, since you guys are the only ones and you guys are the one people who wanna put my shit out there, I'm not gonna charge you? No, fuck no. When it comes down to business, you gotta be ruthless, and that's the only way you're. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know personally, but I guarantee you, you ask anybody who's made a lot of money in business ventures, they will tell you the first thing is when it comes down to business, you have to be fortunately, you have to be ruthless. There is no feelings involved. You can't have it. You can't. Unfortunately, and I hear you. That's why I remember a while back I told you I still have faith in humanity that we aren't that greedy, that we aren't that situation. But the sad reality is that, especially nowadays, if you want to do anything in life, business-wise, you cannot be.
I get that.
The nice guy.
I get that, but
You know
call
what I
me
mean?
naive. But it's still, I want to believe in a world, that just creating content is the important thing.
Yeah.
No, and Chris, I get you.
Okay,
I think
and that's fine. But what world do you think that we live in?
Well, so to piggyback off of the thing I wanted to bring up earlier, what do you think about universal basic income? A lot of people throw that idea around. So everybody's needs get met because we're going to be going into a world where automation is such a baseline.
So
a lot of jobs are going to be taken.
So you're
There's
talking
gonna-
about communism.
He's talking
That's
about
what it is.
communism.
is that what
so-
is that what universal basic income is?
Yeah.
Because the idea is you're supposed to meet everyone's basic needs. Maybe they will. Go
I don't like that,
want
and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm just talking about my job, right? At work, trust. I do a lot more work than most people, and I get paid probably about the same amount of money of some people who all they have to do is sit on their ass. And I'm driving around, I'm picking up different shifts, I'm giving breaks out, I'm doing a whole bunch of other shit and getting paid maybe 10 cents more than a person who's at the lobby just sitting on their ass. So I'll tell you what, no, fuck no. I deserve way more than that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, but that's just me. Maybe somebody else feels differently. I know I'm worth more than what that person makes. I know I'm worth more than what I make. So no, at the end of the day, when it comes down to business, I have always said it. You have to, unfortunately, you have to be a little greedy. You have to. And that's why it kills me when some people tell me, man, I haven't asked for a raise in 4 or 5 years. Why? Why have you not asked for a raise? Because to me, every year of the work that I may have ever done or continue to do, I know I improve with every year, and I deserve more pay. Maybe that's just me being. Some people say that's greedy. I think that no, it's not greedy. I think it's worth. I'm worth it. If I know that I have improved my skills year by year, I'm sorry. It's true. That's why sometimes it kills me when I hear my friends say, "Oh, dude, I haven't asked for a raise in 3 years." What the fuck are you doing in your life?
That's me.
Jesus.
And okay, and you know what? Let's be real. I'm gonna be real right now, gentlemen. I did throw that out there because I know all 3 of y'all motherfuckers don't do this shit. And at the end of the day, it kills me because I know I'm going to sit here and tell you guys, I know that not just me, the rest of these motherfuckers that are sitting in this room with me are way worth more than what you guys get paid. I don't know what holds y'all's back because I'll tell you something right now. Every year comes up at my job, wherever I may be.
He's on the clock.
Absolutely.
Now,
Not even, Lalo. I will tell these motherfuckers 3 months before my year comes around. Hey, my year's coming around. We finna to talk. 2 months in, 2 months before my year. Hey, my year's coming around. Hey, I'm just letting you know. A month before my anniversary. My year's coming up.
You give that
you see the
Microsoft Outlook fucking reminder.
And listen,
fucking
listen,
thing.
and
Actually,
the day
I actually have a
comes-
coworker that does that.
When the day comes and I decide, okay, we're a week before, maybe 2 weeks before my anniversary, I will tell my manager, listen, we need to do a review. Let's do this. Are you ready? Yes, because I'm a person that I know what I do. I know my job. I do it very well. So I know that I deserve a raise, right? And it kills me. Even at work, I hear motherfuckers tell me, I've been here 10 years and I would never ask for a raise. That's why your chump ass is still making $15 an hour. That's a damn fact. That's a goddamn fact. And honestly, I it's beyond me when I see amazing workers, people who do their job and some, and they have never asked for a raise, and I'm sitting here like, why?
Do you think it's people falling into the society trap?
I think it's people. No, it's not society
It's
trap.
people being too nice and
Yep.
actually not valuing themselves, because
Yep.
I've been guilty of this
Yep.
too. You know,
because
like,
they don't know.
I'll
They don't
fucking
know. Hold
kill
on.
myself.
Like I said, Juan, they don't know somehow, sometimes how to separate the personal from the business. Because sometimes what happens is a lot of these people are like, oh, but I'm really cool with my manager. So what? So because you're cool with that motherfucker, you ain't gonna ask for a raise because you don't want to inconvenience him? Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing I have at work. That's the one thing I always tell people. Outside of work, we're the best of buds. But when it comes to work,
Hold on.
that shit's gone.
Hold on. Lalo, rebuttal.
Hey everyone, before you guys can hear my rebuttal, I decided to cut this episode into two because it just ended up being over 2 hours. And just on this topic that we're about to get in about my rebuttal, it took a full hour. I guess this is a cliffhanger. So stay tuned and you'll listen to my rebuttal and the fabulous conversation that spawned from that. Alright, stay tuned.